Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
We are conducting our services out of Mishkan Tefillah, which are the blue Sidurim in front of you. Adam Wright, our lovely rabbi, is taking some well-deserved time off, so he will not be with us the next 3 weeks, if you are interested about that. We begin on page 128 with Hinei Matov. Matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hinei matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hinei matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Manayim shevet achim gam yachad. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Hinei matov Manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hinei matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Shalom aleichem, salam aleikum. Shalom aleichem, salam aleikum. Shalom aleichem, salam aleikum. Shalom aleichem, salam aleikum. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Gam yachad. Hinei matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. We read together on page 124, the top half. We enter this sanctuary to welcome Shabbat. Within these walls, we sit surrounded by numberless generations. Our ancestors built the synagogue as a visible sign of God's presence in their midst. Throughout our long history and our endless wanderings, it has endured, a beacon of truth, love, and justice for all humanity. Its presence guided our ancestors to live lives of righteousness, holding up to them a vision of their truest selves. Now we, in our turn, come into this sanctuary to affirm the sacredness of our lives. May we enter this place in peace. May holiness wrap around us as we cross its threshold. Weariness, doubt, the flaws within our human hearts, the harshness of the weak, let those drop away at the door. In the brightness of Shabbat, let peace settle upon us as we lift our hearts in prayer. I am very honored now to invite Roxanne Trevelut and our Hillel Connections interns to light our Shabbat candles.
Who are my support network. So
Fran and Star Bloom. So, Chris, do you want to light the candle? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. We now rise for our Kiddush, for those who are able. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'b'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'asei bereishit ki hu yom techila lemikraei kodesh seichel yitziat Mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta be'otanu kidashta mikol hamim b'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava u'b'ratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. Amen. L'chaim to myself. Thank you, everybody. Please be seated. Page 127. There are days when we seek things for ourselves and measure failure by what we do not gain. On Shabbat, we seek not to acquire but to share. There are days when we exploit nature as if it were a horn of plenty that can never be exhausted. On Shabbat, we stand in wonder before the mystery of creation. There are days when we act as if we cared nothing for the rights of others. On Shabbat, we remember that justice is our goal and a better world our goal. So we embrace Shabbat, day of rest, day of wonder, and day of peace. We sing on page 130, Psalm 95. Neranena l'Adonai nariya litzur yisheinu lechu neranena l'Adonai nariya litzur yisheinu nekat mafana betoda bizmirot nariya lo ki el gadol Adonai umelech gadol al kol Elohim asher beyado mechkerei aretz metoafot harim lo asher lo hayam behu asahu meyabeshet yadav yatsaru ki hu Eloheinu banachnu amarito v'tzoneado. We welcome the Shabbat bride on page 138 with Lecha Dodi. לחנדותי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לחנדותי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. שמור וזכור בדיבורך תשמיענו, אל המיוחד אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה. לחנדותי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לחנדותי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה. מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשם בתחילה. לחנדותי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לחנדותי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי, 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 שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לחנדותי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לחנדותי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. We rise and face the rear of our sanctuary to welcome the Shabbat. בואי ושלום עטרת מלאכם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לחנדותי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לחנדותי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. Please be seated. Page 145. Teach me, O God, a blessing, a prayer, on the mystery of a withered leaf, on ripened fruit so fair, on the freedom to see, to sense, to breathe, to know, to hope, to despair. Teach my lips a blessing, a hymn of praise, as each morning and night you renew your days. Lest my day be today as the one before, lest routine set my ways. On the next page. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא תברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומייכון ובחי דכל בית ישראל. בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך, לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה יתברך. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם, וינסה ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה. בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה תמירן בעלמה, ואמרו Amen. And we rise, if you are able, for the Baruch Hu. Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Le'olam va'ed. Yadadai-dai-dai, 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 yadadai-dai-dai. Please be seated. Page 148. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, bechokma poteach she'arim, uvitvuna meshane itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umesader et hakochavim b'mishmerotehem barakia kirtzono. Borei yom balayla, golel or mipnei choshech, vechoshech mipnei or. Uma'avir yom umevi layla, umavdil ben yom uven layla, Adonai tzevaot shemo. El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim. We sing Ahavat Olam on page 150. Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael, Amecha ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu, b'shochbeinu ufkumeinu, nasiach bechukecha, v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, uv'mitzvotecha leolam va'ed, ki hei mechayenu be'orech yameinu, ubahem nehegeh yomam v'layla. Ve'ahavatcha al tasir mimenu le'olamim, Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod, Shem Kevod, Malchuto leolam, leolam va'ed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha ubechol nafshecha ubechol meodecha, vehayu הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים לחיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. We continue with Mi Chamocha on page 158. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש. נורא תהילות עושה פלא, נורא תהילות עושה פלא, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מלכותך ראו בניך בוקע ים לפני משה ומרים, זה אלי אנו ואמרו, זה אלי אנו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. יאי דה 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 דה, יאי דה 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 דה, יאי דה 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 דה, yai da 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 da. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. 161. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up, waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, Behamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, Behamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkivenu shomreinu Page 163. We are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time. On the next page with Vishamiru. Vishamiru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam Israel oti leolam leolam ki sheishet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz ubayom hashvi Shabbat Prayer invites God's presence to suffuse our spirits, God's will to prevail in our lives. Prayer may not bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken fence, nor rebuild a ruined city, but prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, rebuild a weakened will. We rise for our prayer, our tefillah, on page 162. Or 4, I believe. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avoteinu ve'Imotenu Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel ve'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor ve'Hanora El Elyon גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה אתה גיבור לעולם, אדוני, מחיי מתים אתה רב להושיע. מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי מתים ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים. ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומידו מלך מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה ונאמן אתה להחיות מתים ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי המתים אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. If it is your custom, please be seated now. page 173. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh HaShabbat. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu be'amcha Yisrael u'tefilatam be'ahava tekabel tehil ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael Yisrael amecha el karov lechol kor'avnei lavatecha mechonenu shefoch ruchacha aleinu betechezena eineinu beshuvcha leTzion berachamim Baruch atah Adonai המחזיר שכינתו We read together on page 179. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Betov beinecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. We take a few moments for individual prayer. Yihul ratzon imre fi. Yihul ratzon imre fi. Behagion libi lefanecha. Adonai tzuri vegoali. Oh, may the words of my mouth, the meditation of my heart be acceptable before you. O God, my rock and my redeemer. Oseh shalom bimromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu, be'al kol Yisrael, be'imeru, be'imeru, amen. It's at this point in our service that we think of those in need of healing, body or spirit. The congregation sends its well wishes to Linda Applebaum, Cindy Silberman Bailey, Sophia Barry, Katie Bates, Callie Bonds, Harold Seitlin, Deborah Chargois, Sadina Costa, Melvin Davis, Brett Drummond, Elaine Gross, Josie Hatfield, Evelyn Held, Donald and Maida Himmel, Patty Hersberg, Norma Jill Jacobson, Corey Kessler, Bart Kolber, Jerry Lapidus, Susie Ovson, Becky Seitel, David Siegel, Liz Slive, Christy St. Charles, Brenda Weinstein, Jesse Weisberg, and Elisa Rosemore Whitehead. If you are thinking of anybody else, please feel free to stand and share their name or share it to yourself. We sing Misha Berach on page 371. source of strength, who blessed the ones before us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi sheperach imotenu mekor habracha la'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. I have the honor and privilege of inviting back up to our bima Roxanne Travalut and the Hillel Connections interns.
From all over the United States to come to study here at Auburn, at University of Alabama, at Birmingham Southern, and at UAB. And we feel like it's an important thing that we showcase Birmingham as far as the occupational opportunities and all of the social and the fun things there are to do here in Birmingham. So in 2018, we decided that we would start a program called Hillel Connections. And this is really focused on helping our students. The students, we feel, benefit from connecting with a family friend, and that can be someone in Tuscaloosa or Birmingham or wherever they're in Auburn. We also have a mentoring program and a summer internship program. So the kids that I have behind me are actually part of our summer internship. They all have been matched with a family friend who will be their connection here in Birmingham, and I want to thank the families that have agreed to do this. They were specially picked because they exude the warmth and love that Birmingham, especially our Jewish community, shares with our interns. So Kit and Rick Roth, Michael and Rochelle Coslin, David Reese and Elaine May, Glenda and Paul Nagrotsky, Susan and Barry Koretsky, Jim and Louise Abrams, and Mark and Lynn Cohen. A special shout out to all of them. I am going to ask the interns in 1 minute to introduce themselves, where they're from, what school they're studying at, because we have several that are not from the University of Alabama, in contrast to years past. So as you know, in previous years we did have students from Vanderbilt, and so we're really trying to develop the reputation that if you want to come and live in Birmingham and share in the benefit of our program, that you don't have to study in Alabama. You can come here and do an internship, because really the purpose and the mission of our program is to showcase Birmingham, specifically for our Jewish kids so that they will know what a valuable asset our Jewish community is, and also that they can help us spread the word among their friends that, hey, Birmingham's a great place to be. So a couple of other things. I want you to know our calendar is posted on our website, hillelconnections.com. And I would ask you that if you know other young college kids that are in or near Birmingham this summer, that they're invited to join in our programming. The majority of it is free, and I think the kids will tell you that they have a great time. When they get together, they just sit around and eat, and we're going to do community service, go to Barron's games and go to Pepper Place and a lot of other fun things. I want to thank Temple Emanu-El because they help provide funding, as well as the Birmingham Jewish Foundation and the Levite Jewish Community Center gives our students free admission for the summer, and many of them have partaken. And I also want to invite all of you to network with our students as you listen to where they're from and what their major is. Just kind of be thinking to yourself, is there one or more that I could walk up and connect with, and maybe reach out and help them connect the dots. Maybe you're not in their major, but you have a good friend that is, and it may open the door for one of these students. So think about doing that. If you want, come do some community service with us. On Sunday, we're going to do community service with CJFS, and we always do something with the Jewish community, but we intend to do another project outside with the greater Birmingham community. We want young Jews to know that Birmingham is a great place to be. And the way we do that is by inviting kids here and trying to entice the ones that were raised here to stay. So just think about that and how impactful this program may have. Before I introduce the students, I want to share 3 students that are not with us tonight. They're out of town. Shelby Etkind is from Atlanta. She actually is working at the Birmingham Jewish Federation. She has worked with Danny Cohn for the past 2 summers and actually continued to work through the whole school year. Danny found that she was a great asset to him, and I think to the whole Federation. I talked to her last weekend. She said, I want to live in Birmingham. Pretty cool. For a year ago, she told me she's moving to New York. So I'm going to let the students introduce themselves, and then I'll tell you about the other 2 that are not here.
Hello, my name is Reva Kedia. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. I graduated from the University of Alabama with an undergraduate in public health, and now I'm continuing on with my MBA. I work at Andrews Sports Medicine this summer, and I want to thank everyone in the community for being so welcoming. We're so glad to be here.
Hello, I'm Hallie Cooper. I'm a psychology major at Birmingham Southern, but I'm from Atlanta. And this summer I'm working at Kalat Jewish Family Services. And thank you everyone for this wonderful opportunity this summer.
My name is Andrew Post. I go to University of Alabama, and I'm a political science major, but I'm originally from New City, New York. Thank you everyone for being here and supporting us.
Hi, I'm Bradley Post. I'm an economics major at the University of Central Florida. I'm his twin brother. I'm also from New City, Rockland County, New York. Thank you everyone for helping me. I'm really excited for what's to come. Yeah, have a great night.
Hello, I'm William Russell. I'm a music technology major, and I would like to thank Roxanne for giving me this wonderful opportunity. I'm studying at UAB, and I'm from here in Birmingham.
So we have one more familiar person, Carly Nadler, who grew up here. She was actually bat mitzvahed here at this temple. Her parents moved to Atlanta a few years ago, but Carly decided to come back and spend the summer with us. So she's working at the LJCC. She is a marketing major and is doing their social media. So as you get your information from the JCC, look to see if Carly wrote it. And the last student I have is Will Kinsella. Will is from Mobile. He is an accounting major. He's working at Kasuf right across the street from us. He's a pre-law student and is planning to take the LSAT in August. All of these kids are very bright. They're very fun. They have great ideas. They know how to do things better than my generation. And we just want them to realize what a fabulous community we have. And so please go out of your way to make them feel comfortable and welcome. Thanks. And thanks, Rabbi Whitner, or Cantor Whitner, for letting us be part of the program tonight.
Of course, my pleasure. Thank you all. With that, we rise for Aleinu, if you're able, on page 586. Aleinu לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. Please be seated. Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. This week we mark the yard sites of Milton Abrams, Ike Adler, Esther Brodowski-Brenner, Helen Kaufman-Broda, Philip Brodnax, Anna Paula Cohen, Conrad Cyprus, Leah Elsis, Irving Epsman, Lawrence Claster Falk, Walter Gerson, Joyce Rutstein-Gowan, Dave Handler, Marcia Goldberg-Handler, Sandra Halsey, Annie Blackman-Jaffe, Sadie Goldstein-Jaffe, Bernie Kahn, Morris Carpeles, Harry Cardis, Jack Cardis, Sheila Klein, Sybil Green Landau, Sybil Leaf, Irene Leibowich, Rosalind T. Levine, Jack J. Levinson, Mark Levine, Sadie Lux, Maynard B. Melamed, B.B. Miller, Rose Monsky, Morris M. Nelson, Raymond Oppenheim, Sonia F. Ovson, Dora Lee Handler Perotin, Minnie Pizitz, Nathan Rotenstrike, Rose Tenenbaum Rotenstrike, Morris Rothman, Mideline Midi Scharf, Terry Schneiderman, Armin Schwartz, Phil Seitel, Wilbur Silberman, Mark David Solomon, Nettie Levine Sturman, Joseph Tanner, and Clara Bell Yasny. We also send our heartfelt condolences on the recent passings of Tony Laughlin, friend of Glenn Fleissig, and Phoebe Mayer Cotton, mother-in-law of Peter Egley. If you are thinking of a loved one or friend, please feel free to share their name as well. For all those names mentioned and those who have no one to mourn for them, we rise and recite the Mourner's Kaddish on page 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala ubizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mevarach le'alam ulalmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnasei, v'yitadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudesha brichu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom. Israel me'imeru amen. Please be seated. We conclude our service on page 625 with Adon Olam. Adon Olam asher malach beterem kol yitzir nivra leit nasa bechefzo kol azai melech shemo nikra ve'acharei kichlot hakol levado yimloch nora vehu haya vehu hove vehu yeh betifara vehu echad ve'ein sheni lehamshilo lehachmira beli reishit beli tachlit belo ha'oz ve'hamisra vehu eli bechai goali betzur chavli be'et sara vehu nisi umanos li menat kosi beyom ekra beyado afkid ruchi be'et ishan be'aira be'im ruchi geviati Adonai li velo ira. Shabbat shalom, everybody.